Yes, people, welcome bloody back to Weird and Wonderful.
We there, man.
We got smiles all round this week.
3 point massive, man.
3 point massive, yeah. 3 points all round this week. It was an eventful game week for sure. And definitely one that's going to live long in the memory for me. There's a reason why we've gone hella nostalgic with our choice of kits. Ishmael will explain his reasons in a second.
Let me not even speak on it.
But for me, look, this is a special podcast. It is the return, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo to Old Trafford. Not just the return, but also the return to the score sheet as well.
Wait, who was in goal for Newcastle?
Woodman. I think someone was injured.
Someone was saying he must have triple captained Ronaldo because
the
goalkeeper. Obviously, cold finishes, but the first one, Mason obviously doing Mason things, getting the shot off quickly, but. When you look at it, the movement. We were talking about this before, and you're like, movement this, movement that. Hype, yeah.
But when you see that, as the shot goes in, when they're looking at whether it's offside or not, the only person moving in that box is Cristiano Ronaldo. You say as much as you want about he might have lost a yard of pace. But his brain is on a different place.
Should we say a couple bars on Paul Merson and the man?
Yeah. Oh my God!
We need to free this guy from his job, man. He's earning big bread to be talking just the most nonsense.
From when he was saying to me, he's got to score. Not to me, obviously, but when he was saying on Sky Sports before the game,
he's like, "Oh, worry if he doesn't score today."
He's like, "He's got to score today. He's got to score. If he doesn't score, I'll be worried." I was like, "Oh."
But you're adding fuel to the fire, man. We all knew he was gonna bag the most inevitable goal scorer, literally in the history of football. And you're trying to give him more ammunition to go and bag more.
He doesn't need little man Paul Merson retired at 34 trying to tell him shit. Do you know what I mean? Just because you couldn't do it back in your day, Paul, doesn't mean that the greatest
respect Paul Merson's thing.
Whatever, bro. Everything. I used to like Paul Merson, bro. When he was at Pompey, I used to like him, man. But and he was obviously a good baller at Arsenal. But now the punditry's just taken over his legacy, bro. All I remember is it. Yeah. Anyway, let's not spend too much time. Paul Merson, Trevor Sinclair. I guess you got your answer now, innit? About whether we can still do it in the Premier League if a 36-year-old can still do it.
Just also speaking of what you were saying before about whether it just being a tapping or whatever. The amount of times you see players not anticipate where the ball ricochets, and they'll go in another direction, or they'll
react
stretch.
late. Yeah.
So listen, it pains me to say it, but we all knew what was going to happen. He bagged the standard has been raised
for sure. And do you know what specifically that goal we're talking about? Those are the goals that Anthony Martial's not getting us.
Nah,
Mark Rashford's not going to get us
outside the box, putting his gloves up or readjusting, making sure they're faded. He ain't even got a fade anymore.
Got no distractions. The only person that it thinks like that instinctively is Edison Cavani, and Edison Cavani's been a number 9 for his whole career.
Bro, and Rashford didn't even touch the pitch on Saturday. It's scary times, man. It's scary times.
It's scary, but it's those goals for me.
Yeah.
That are the difference between whether you win a title. I know we won 4-1. But the difference between some of them games, getting 2-1 ahead in that game instead of being 1-0 down.
Yeah.
Those goals, those performances, where Ronaldo didn't have a vintage performance, but he had a couple of moments of absolute brilliance. Do you know what I mean?
That's the definition.
Even that tapping's brilliant in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? If you could teach that to every single kid growing up now, then they'd be.
For me, this is the second goal as well, because the way was it Shaw, innit? Shaw broke.
Yeah.
And there was Shaw broke through the ball. Ronaldo, there was only one thought on his mind. Slowed down his run, knew when to execute. I can't even believe it. Man's like
full steam, bro. It was full steam ahead.
The timing was that's as they say. You show that to young strikers. That's the kind of goal that you.
Did you see his pace though?
Yeah, man.
That was.
I clocked up 20 miles per hour, and who was it? I was saying the other day he's lost the yard. Was it more?
Probably Merson again, bro. It's these men, honestly nicking a living.
Listen, that leads us on to our first question. I think I probably know what your answer is going to be, but we got to ask the questions anyway. Can Ronaldo do it? Can Ronaldo take you to that 21st league title? Can he do it?
It's right. I was saying to you, remember in our predictions pod where I was like, the thing is, if we get a defensive midfielder, then I reckon I'll say we're going to win the league. I don't think there's any defensive midfielder in the world that can have as much of an impact on a team than Cristiano Ronaldo. And so
he's got man them not like skipping meals. He's not even deserting that. Liga said nobody touched the apple crumble.
Yeah,
bro. You know Mary's
Sue's
apple crumble.
Sue's
apple
pissed,
crumble. Wait, the influence is nuts, mate. The influence is nuts. This is culture change, right?
Yeah.
He's coming. One man's coming, and like, obviously, you can say what you want. Naysayers, i.e., me, will still say that Ollie's gonna be your Achilles heel this season. But if there's any way to mask that weakness, you bring in one of the greatest of all time. Like, that's just...
The thing is, I know we fans can focus on Ronaldo on Solskjaer not being adequate, but players can't be doing that shit. Clubs can't be going to Old Trafford thinking, he's a dead manager. They got to go to Man United and worry about what we have on the pitch now. Do you know what I mean?
Too much firepower.
Do you know what I mean? And that's a big thing. And like you're saying about changing the sort of the culture around the club, influencing players. I saw a good quote coming out about Steve Clement about what Ronaldo would do when he came back from a training session at 4 a.m. or from a match at Europe. 4 a.m. and he grabbed Pepe
we're going now.
And it was like, that's the sort of influence you have where you're not just doing it for yourself, you're influencing others.
The team, innit? The team. Apparently he gave some big speech when he came back saying, I'm here to help you win.
So instead of doing initiation, which he said he'd done 18 years ago when he was 18.
What, the little singing thing?
Yeah. So he's like, I've already done that. So instead, because Varane, Sancho both done their songs.
Yeah.
Oh,
man said, I'm not singing.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not singing. I'll jump up in this chair. And I'll give you a little motivation.
Come
I'll give you a little TED talk. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, his team's like you can't compare it to anyone else.
But one thing I just wanted to jump in. I know I've been speaking a lot, but
go on.
Especially with Cristiano, right? Like the thing, what he's managed to bring back to this club as well is every game is like an occasion now. Do you know what I mean? That felt like the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Him being on the pitch. And like there's a different feel around the club. There's a family feel. There's like a different buzz. It's all I can describe it as is reminiscent of our proper glory days, like the heydays, like 2008, 2009.
But you man have got a little bit of a tough run coming up.
Yeah, we got to get through this West Ham game, and then we got City, Tottenham. I want to say you as well.
Our game is 24th of October, so I think it's a big month for you lot.
But all I say now, but bring it on. Do you know what I mean? Bring on anyone, bro. PSG, Real, anyone. My boys will slap you. Do you know what I mean?
Swear.
Okay. Also, give some shout outs to Paul Pogba.
Listen, if this is not the season where he just he's already got 7 assists.
Bro, sign the thing for 7 assists in 4 games. And the man's influence, and I don't know if you saw him, but he was doing Bobby Firmino.
What?
It was like after Fernandes scored. He was like, he did that, and then when Jesse scored, he's like that.
When you said Bobby, I thought you could do to say he's been doing piano things and that.
Oh no! I didn't even press play on that clip. I didn't even press play. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Oh my god, that.
But Pogba is he's providing more than vibes. He's got the end product. He's now in a team.
He doesn't have to be the main guy.
He's now in a team where he can go quiet in moments in the game and then pick up the ball. And if anything, that benefits him because you got everyone else. And then a couple more things as well. There's the connections that have been built across the field now. All of our summer arrivals have built some sort of connection. I mean, I'll start off with Sancho on the left of Luke Shaw. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed that for the amount of time he was on there. He's definitely he's got a lot more potential. He's got a lot more to grow into this United team. But there's a connection building on that left hand side whilst Rashford's away. We've got the French connection with Pogba and Varane.
Rashford is gonna have to work to get back into this team, man. He's not gonna be
good problems. These are good problems. You know what I mean? Varane and Pogba, they look like they were just spraying the ball around for fun at times. I love that connection there. And then Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo. They're like proper connections.
Hey, listen, Bruno's humbled himself. This is the maturity I've been asking to see from Bruno because last season, at times
he had to do it all, bro.
Bruno was on the little hero thing, but now the season, Ronaldo, the real Portuguese Don Dada has arrived. Yeah, he's had to settle himself. Maybe we might see. You'll say we've seen the best of Bruno already, but I think he can still kind of add levels to his game, add a bit of nuance to it. So it's scary times, man. I think
for me with Bruno, I think people were saying like, is it gonna have like a negative impact on his output? Ronaldo coming here, who's gonna take pens, who's gonna take free kicks?
He's not scored a pen yet this season.
He's scored 4 goals from outfield positions, and I think if anything, Ronaldo is going to bring out a more professional side to Bruno. I'm not saying he would be an unprofessional, but sometimes he takes risks.
A little bit of petulance.
Yeah, and now he's got now he's got his hero playing in front of him. And I think for me, it's going to bring the best out of him. We're going to see a different Bruno Fernandes.
Bro, he's going to actually have to play midfield. He can't be doing that. He can't be doing the false striker, false centre midfielder.
Yeah.
Listen,
sure.
The box belongs to Cristiano.
But best believe he'll still be making those runs. That Pogba, that ball deep into Pogba, first time over the defenders like that. We're going to see that time and time again this season. Time and time again. And overall, a fucking fantastic day at the office. You know
Listen,
what I mean?
all I will say is be gas, but you're playing one of the worst teams in the league and probably the worst manager in the league as well. But you
beat what's in front of you.
You lot did your thing in it.
And the thing is, also, teams are coming. Newcastle were wasting time in the 10th minute.
Yeah.
They were here to waste time.
That fear factor was gone for a little bit, but now I feel like
it's back.
You lot got a couple
more. They had to have a word with the referee at 10 minutes, bro. It was like, come on, man. The game's just started.
That's a piss take.
Just started.
But anyway, that's enough about you, man. You lot did what you had to do. The table started to take place a little bit.
Wait, do you think Ronaldo makes us title? Do you think title?
Bro,
favorites?
I said to you, if anyone, I don't want to hear any DM talk this season because I feel like. You not signing a DM.
Summer. We'll get DMs happening. DMs happening.
You lot not signing a DM has been completely blown out of the water by you signing Ronaldo. That's the equaliser. That is the equaliser right there. So listen. If anyone can do it, it's him. But let's move on. Let's move on to the next bit. I just want to actually give a shout out. Obviously, I've got my 1920 shirt on today. For a fallen soldier.
Give ton of people what it's for, man.
It's not for Harvey Elliott, but I do obviously wish Harvey Elliott the best. But I'm actually wearing this for another guy who's been down and out recently, Sadio Mane. Listen, I know he got his goal yesterday. I know he's on 2 for the season, but that performance was I was saying obscenities on my TV screen. Even when he scored, I texted I said I did not celebrate. I did not celebrate the goal. Man had 10 shots in the game, more shots than Leeds. Missed. I know that chance when Jota squared it to him was a bit of a difficult one. Jota licked it across the box, but like still, man, I don't know what's happening. He was moving like he's like glitching out. The form is gone. The hairline's still not quite coming back. Sadio. He's the one I've always been most worried about. Like Bobby can drop deeper. I can even see Bobby doing like a number 8 thing later on in his career.
Do you know what?
Salah.
It's weird that Bobby can still influence the team without scoring, but Manny probably struggles more.
It's like he influences, but the influence was negative influence.
That number 9 is typically the goal scorer, but Mane and Salah, I'd say the two arch.
Thing is that even Salah this season, but before everyone was always saying it's like output. But he's been on a little sexy thing. The link up play is looking better. He's been bringing people into the game a bit more. Passing to Mane. Mane was just on some selfish, like I don't know.
Yeah,
the goal did not mask the performance. Liverpool fans, I was arguing with a couple on Twitter that was saying that at least he scored. I don't care. That for me was a really concerning performance. So Sadio,
what's been the difference? What's been the difference?
I've got the shirt on today from your prime season. Just bring back the form, man. Restore the feeling because I don't know what's happening.
What is it then?
I don't know. I literally don't know. Like the ball's like not really sticking to him like it used to before. A lot of the instinctive stuff that he used to do is kind of not. He's completely gone out of his game. The finishing, do you see some of the chances he was missing? It's like
I think one of the chances I felt was harsh because it was on target.
One was a block. One was a mad block. I can't remember who. Was it Cooper? No, I think it was off by then. But one of them was a mad block. But he had 10 shots. 10 shots. Never really troubled the keeper. It's worrying times, man. Worrying times at all. But also got to give props. Mohamed Salah, Inshallah Salah, 100 club. Yeah. For me, in my opinion, the greatest African player in Premier League history. Not the best, not the most technically gifted, but the greatest, yeah?
I don't know
the Egyptian king, yeah?
You've got a lot of great players.
Bro, I know. A lot of them from the motherland. Kanu, Okocha, yeah? These are real ballers. Salah can't chat to them in terms of natural ability or like just flair. But in terms of legacy and the mark he's left in the Premier League.
Alright, state your case.
I'm doing it right now. 2 golden boots, 100 club, Player of the Year, Premier League winners medal. That's what is there to say? It's not. Thing is, a Salah, yeah.
I think Kanye won more title.
He doesn't give the feeling of like a Hazard or a Bergkamp, where you get that feeling inside where you just love watching him play. Salah doesn't really give you that.
He's efficient.
He's just efficient, bro. Just numbers. clutch moments, decisive moments in seasons. And for me, yes, it's easy, man. For me, it's an easy decision. His legacy when he leaves the Prem or when he leaves Liverpool, untouchable.
What I've got to say,
untouchable.
JJ Okocha.
Bruv,
for me, Salah can't even shine his shoes.
In terms, ability-wise, no, I 100% hear that. But Salah's CV and his body of work in the Prem came back to the Prem with two league goals. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm guessing you probably obviously thought of that.
I thought all of them. Drogba was the one. To be fair, it's between him and Drogba. Drogba's got 104 goals. Salah will get that the next few games, no problem. But for me, it's Salah, man. There's
a few different ways of looking at it, right? Because I think obviously Salah is a great, right? I'm sure he will go down as a Premier League great. Like the output, the amount of goals he scored, the consistency.
Salah is now the benchmark in the Premier. If you outscore Salah, more time you're going to get the Golden Boot. It's
usually Harry Kane, isn't it? I mean, Kane as well, because has been sharing the.
Yeah, man.
They've been sharing, haven't they?
I think they've got the last 4 or 5 years, but it's between them two. I think Mane and Aubameyang were in one of the seasons joint, but
for me, like when you say the greatest African player, I guess it's more than just about
ability,
about him scoring.
It's the whole thing.
For me, I think because Salah's a striker, he did it exceptionally well. But I don't think Salah was better than Okocha at what he did. It's because Okocha's not a striker; he's a midfielder.
Okocha was. I don't even want to say vibes. Vibes sounds disrespectful, but Okocha gave me the feeling I was like, I love.
You should never have played for Bolton, bro. It's mental.
Sam Allardyce was on those little.
Bro, no wonder he had his pint of wine, bro. He's telling undercover journalists being like, I got Okocha for a $5.
Bro, I don't know. They must have thought he was going to Manchester United or something. I don't know how.
We're going north. We're going north.
I don't know how the fuck that happened, man. But listen, Salah, for me, Salah's thing's different. Yeah, he's got accolades, clutch moments, goals. It's all there
for sure.
He's done it, man. He's done it, and you can't really track him. He's consistent as well with it. Other players you can say have got better attributes in some areas. They haven't got that consistency. Salah now 4 seasons in the Prem. If he doesn't win the Golden Boot, then he's right up there with the others. And
it's hard to argue
without Salah last season. Bro, we're Thursday nights. It's dun 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 dun.
It's true. He carried you, man.
Van Dijk coming back to play Europa League. Imagine that. Imagine the fucking scenes that happened, man. Like, listen, Salah. I sometimes I'm critical of him. I'm very critical of him sometimes, but he deserves a lot of respect, man. He does a lot of respect.
I guess obviously there's one other point one important point to touch on.
Yeah.
So obviously, hard for you as a Liverpool fan. Hard for your Young Player of the Year predictions as well.
Bro, the judge is strong, you know.
Yeah.
Bro, literally 2 weeks ago, and he's out, looking like a 6 month.
If there's any solace in that, it doesn't look like it was a leg break. It looked like his foot would just pop. It looked like his foot just popped out of its socket. And I remember Antonio Valencia got an injury similar against Rangers. And it was similar times to when Eduardo and all those leg breaks were happening. And it looked like a really bad leg break, but he was out for 5 months. So especially for a young player, you don't want breaks or like or bad breaks where there's like multiple fractures, ankle dislocations. I know about my dislocations, so they're pretty clean. As long as you do the rehab after, you can recover. And he's gonna have to
get it back in quickly as well, which is good. But
you could tell the way it was hanging. It wasn't like
it wasn't
Eduardo
was literally holding his leg
because you got your ankle like that. It wasn't like 3 different angles. So he hopefully he comes back. We all have our rivalries. You could put them aside. Like I like to see him. I like to see players flop and I can laugh at them. I don't want to see them get injured and laugh.
That's,
I mean,
that's the madness, isn't it?
He's 18 as well.
He's balling out as well. Breakthrough season.
Bro, he should. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets into the England squad. If he was pushing for the England squad for the World Cup.
He's the kind of player we were missing in the Euros. Someone to just take the ball midfield and actually forward passes and make stuff happen.
Obviously, Harvey Elliott. Hopefully, you make a full recovery and you get a transfer away from Liverpool.
And Mane, full recovery for you too, bro.
I'm
watching you, bro. I'm watching you.
But yeah, I guess that's Liverpool. Unless there's anything else you wanted to touch on.
Nah, listen, we're
strong performance from Virgil as well. Good. He's growing back into.
Listen, Virgil, give him man his props, but Joel Matip, I feel like the Virgil one, I always knew he's gonna be back alright, but Matip, one of the most underrated defenders in the Prem. I'd say he's top 5. If he could stay fit for a whole season, top 5, there's no argument. But you don't know when that injury is going to come from. Man was doing up like number 10 playmaking. Do you see how he set up the first goal? Matip, don't sleep on Matip's thing, man.
But you still Salah was stressing out. He was like, bro, why are you flipping past it? Oh, sick goal. He's like, shut up.
Also, I clocked as well. Mane, I don't know if he would have scored or not, but he was right behind Salah. Salah just came in and said, nah, 100 club is coming today, man. 100 club is coming today. But yeah, listen, conceded 1 goal this season so far. 3 wins and a draw. We're looking alright. Table's starting to take form a little bit. The top 4, I think, is going to be one hell of a title race.
I guess from 3-0 victory to another.
Actually got exactly the same goal difference as them as well. The man over in London.
Another potential title candidate.
Big ops for us this season and for you lot as well.
Big time. We're talking about Chelsea, of course. Come run out 3-0 winners against Aston Villa. The game wasn't it was a lot tighter. It was a lot more entertaining.
Villa were kind of moving to them in the first half. It was a bit
They had Saul, bro.
Hey, listen, if we're talking
imagine I was hoping for Saul when we got Ronaldo, bro. But Saul's a good player. He's a
good player. And like I think we both wanted him at our teams. But when it's time to talk and laugh about a player's performance, like
that was bad.
Anyone could get it. I think he lost 7 out of 7 duels. He's getting overrun, just like
misplaced passes,
bodied. Like this is,
and they weren't just misplaced passes. There were misplaced passes leading to chances.
Yeah, you see when like the likes of Merson and them not say like the Premier League's not blah 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 blah. People always kind of like side eye it a little bit, but listen, when you're coming to the Prem,
you got to be in the toes.
Also, Simeone had man playing right wing back all the season before he signed for Chelsea. So he's getting into the central midfield in a busy, hustly, bustly.
He was ill though. I think he had like an illness.
What before he played for him?
He was quite. He had a lot of issues.
Tuchel did say that he takes part of the blame because he just dashed him straight into the starting lineup. But bro, that performance was
subpar.
You're being kind, man.
Disaster. It was a disaster. It was a disaster of a debut.
Yeah. That's up there.
Usually you want to remember your debuts and stuff, but I don't think there's anything.
You think Villa at home as well? Like just come in, do like small passing, keep things ticking over. Maybe play to like 60th minute, half time. He's gone.
Do you know who I was really impressed with in that game? And I guess I'll probably want to jump into the question as well. But Mendy.
Yeah, man.
Mendy. I think I clocked it last season.
The lights are on him.
He was saving Chelsea, and he was just the consistency was that it was kind of scary. And now this season, I think he's got the most.
Aren't really always rated the most high as well. Listen, I was vocal about the black coat. I said the same thing with like Patrick Vieira as well. You're doing it for the community. Like you're doing it not for yourself, not for your club. For
you're putting yourself on the line to be
firing. Like you don't see many black keepers out there. Mendy said, "Listen, I'm coming. Yeah, I'm gonna restore the feeling." And to be honest, since he's been in, you can't really say there's been a better keeper in the league. Like
I'd say, yeah. To be honest,
it's horses for courses. You can argue him as much as you can.
Since he came back, so since Tuchel's arrived, that's the most clean sheets. So I guess you have to. But I'd say the only person that I'd be tempted to have at the moment, he probably might start. Actually, I don't know.
You're going to say De Gea, or you?
De Gea for me is
man just did one last nice kick for the goal, and
we ever talk about that pass, bro.
It was nice.
Normally his distribution is normally dead. You'd like to get his distribution.
It's normally dead.
I was thinking of that. I was thinking
no,
it was. Look, you got to give him credit. Mendy's a top.
Top keeper, man. Top keeper.
He's a top keeper, and yeah, he's gonna go from strength to strength, man. I think he's gonna be a real reason why Chelsea are in and around it at the end of the season. And I guess that's the question we're going to ask. I think what I was thinking, especially after that game where you see Lukaku getting the plaudits. Obviously, 2 goals.
The performance was not saying a lot.
If you look at the 2 finishes in isolation, the first finish was great composure. Twanzebe slides in, a bit of rash. I wasn't that overjoyed to see, but and then the second goal was a clinical
just
finish, rifled it into top corner.
Wait, who's that keeper that Villa had? What's the name? Steer or something.
Steer.
Dead guy, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, it's because Martinez.
Free my guy Emmy, man. Free my guy Emmy.
But the question is,
go on.
Who will be more important? Who's more significant for Chelsea's title race? Because I think.
When you first
between Lukaku and Mendy.
When you first asked me, I was like, it's obviously Lukaku, but I actually deeped it for a bit. And
I don't think Chelsea's defence is that good either.
Also, if you look at the drop-off, say it's quite rare for a keeper to get injured, and I know Kepa did well in the Super Cup final, but the drop-off between, and it's two quite comical things, but the drop-off between Mendy and Kepa and Lukaku and Werner, it's quite similar. It's quite similar, and you'd argue Chelsea's system you could say is quite defensive, but Mendy is like he's up there in the upper echelons of keepers in the league. They would really struggle without him. They would really struggle.
I think it's an interesting question because I think Lukaku, if Chelsea win the league, will be given the plaudits, and obviously rightly so, because he would have scored a lot of goals for that to happen. Mendy, however, is one of those unsung heroes and one of those players that like the managers, the players appreciate, but I'd say the fans probably. I mean, unless you're a fan of Chelsea, you might not be able to appreciate it enough. But what I have seen from Mendy is an ability to make unbelievable saves. Saves that he probably the percentages are like 10%.
There was one low. I can't remember.
It was Watkins. He reversed it into the bottom corner, and he was going the other way and managed to save it. That was a stunning save.
He's impressed me a lot. Also, like it sounds basic, but he just doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah,
I mean, a keeper, like even like the Alissons and Edisons, they'll kind of do things sometimes which will make you like get a little nervous when they're trying to do up the footwork and that. But Mendy just doesn't really mess about, doesn't take any chances, and he just does the basic stuff well. Kind of in the same sort of mould as like Kasper Schmeichel, where they go under the radar, but if you actually think about a time when they made a mistake, you find it really hard to
when they're called upon.
They just keep the ball out of the goal. That's it.
Because I honestly think Mendy's been.
But we need to stop. Both of us need to stop saying that on Mendy.
Mendy's been. He's done an incredible. I think for me, he's the reason Rudiger believes he's the best defender in the world.
Rudiger's remontada is a bit like. Because
I think if Mendy's not there, if it's Kepa in
the head
goal,
loss, he's not there. Because like Rudiger's still got tendencies for his head to just go, but he's got stability around him. Christensen as well. I want to speak on. He's been like phenomenal. Last maybe 6 to 12 months he's been a different class, but Rudiger, that's a good point. Rudiger's kind of renaissance, if you like. It's coincided. He's got stability around him. He's not got Kepa doing madness. Alonso's plays quite regularly, but he also used to like do like some mad shit sometimes as well. But the whole thing just seems very stable at Chelsea.
We're just talking on the pitch as well. Anyway, but one player we see with Rudiger, like he is. I gotta give him props. He looks like a flipping different defender.
Forget the shithousery, man. It's sensational.
But what I wanted to say is that I think there are, in terms of Rudiger, he's obviously a more experienced player, but there's a lot of similarities I'd like to draw with another player. One who's also a player of a club in London. And probably who we've been bigging up quite a lot, but had a bit of a rocky performance over in South London at Southhouse Park.
Man,
Japhet Tanganga.
Tangangster, man. Say his name properly. Yeah. I was a pussy, man.
Japhet Tanganga.
We were laughing about that when we were watching the game.
Listen. Pussy. Nah, I think
I still rate it. I know he got sent off, but I still rate it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the ban's only one game.
Oh,
he'll be back. But with Tanganga, I think there's a lot of similarities. They're both quite reckless. I mean, you give Tanganga a bit of leeway because
he's young, innit?
Hopefully, he can evolve into a player who's almost had that renaissance. Who's found himself in a similar vein to what Rudiger has. But we saw a real immaturity and a naivety to his game. One that we can accept, but one that he needs to wipe out ASAP because he's a quality player and we've given him enough props.
Badded up Sterling. Was that first game of the season at City?
But we praise him for that aggression.
But I like players who like play on the edge, and obviously that London derby. It was flaring for a little bit. Because Zaha was absolutely bunning up. What's my man's called? Royale.
Yeah,
I think Tanganga just saw it and was like, "No, you know what? Fuck this." Just came over. Went like high, went face, got him in the face. That's
a foul in rugby. That's a foul in rugby.
What made me laugh is that Zaha obviously got up with all his force he could possibly get. Tried to push man in the face. Did not move at all. Tanganga did not move.
You look like a bouncer, bro. He's like, calm down, love. Calm down.
It was, oh my god, that was. Thing is, like, obviously, you can't really say that Tanganga came out on top because he got a red card, like literally.
In that skirmish, he did, but overall,
he won the battle. But the war,
exactly.
The war, the Eagles rose. But listen, Palace, what are you saying now? Do you reckon Have they? Is their season going to start?
I needed to see some sort of shoots of recovery, and I've definitely seen that in the last couple of weeks. Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
Oi, he's looking like an absolute player, and the only downside is he fucking plays for Chelsea.
I know. But the thing is, see the hype they had over Loftus-Cheek a couple of years ago after he ironically went on loan to Palace as well. I feel like Conor Gallagher is more the real deal than Loftus-Cheek. He looks very, very saucy.
I think Loftus-Cheek especially was like kind of... I think his best performance was always at Chelsea in that first couple of seasons he had with Jose. I remember his debut, he didn't give the ball away once in that game.
Yeah, I always felt like he's kind of a bit too high.
He was allowed to sort of be seen at a higher level than he actually was purely because he was playing at a club that was a high level. So as soon as he dropped down to the lower levels... He kind of got, not he's a quality player, but he's obviously had his difficulties of injury, but he's not been as successful as, say, a Conor Gallagher. And Conor Gallagher, for me, he's done it at West Brom last season. He's doing it at Palace.
He was one of the few shining lights for him as well.
And he looks like a genuine player. Like, I'm really impressed with him. I think he's a player that can play at a top 6 club.
Listen, the Palace vibes this season is unmatched. But they've still got my man to come back as well. Eze, yeah. Benteke will not be touching grass.
Olise as well. Olise's quality.
Benteke will not be touching grass for the rest of the season. Yes, and they've got a proper striker, man.
Wow, we've got to say a couple pieces on him.
Listen, the debut performance came on. I think that's the fastest ever debut to score up. Was it like 25 seconds or something like that? Came on, told Benteke, listen, relax, man.
Hold the bench. Get used to it.
See you there? Yeah, you stay there.
Yeah, that's your spot. Yeah.
That's two proper strikers finishes as well. There wasn't really a chance for the first one. Just found a little space bottom corner.
It's got to finish off.
But listen, I'm excited to see Palace. I'm excited to see Palace. They've still got a few players to come back as well. So yes, it's exciting times. But
so I was saying before that I think Conor Gallagher could play the top 6. Do you think Edouard could? Obviously, you know more about him than
yeah,
most.
man. I've got the SPL link up.
You're the Celtic correspondent.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I reckon like at Arsenal. Say Lacazette was to leave Arsenal tomorrow.
Top 6, bro.
Were you talking big 6, top 6?
You listening? Top 6.
Yeah, you got me here still. No, he could be a lot of like Spurs, for example. He could be their backup to Kane, no problem. I think Leicester, if they hadn't signed Daka, not same sort of player, but similar sort of profile, they'll get you like early teens and goals in the season, 13, 14 goals. So yeah, I like Edouard, man. I like him. I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't want him at my club. You probably wouldn't take him at United either.
Where?
But
where's he going?
But he's decent. He's tidy, and he's definitely an upgrade on my man Benteke.
Definitely. I think Benteke's been selling dreams for a long time.
Him, are you like just? There's no clinicality there at all whatsoever. So it's going to be good to see, man, because that's been holding Palace back for the longest time.
Man, I thought Peter Hodgson's flipping kissing his teeth right now.
Yeah.
Imagine. Can't imagine
the dentures.
Both. But what I'm kind of leading to here with this question is, you said, so we asked about top 6 clubs and whether Conor Gallagher and Odsonne Edouard could play.
Yeah.
There's one person that we discussed during the game and we're unsure whether there was uncertainty between us about whether he could play at a top 6 club. Now, looking back on it with everything that we discussed, what are your views on Zaha? Is he going to make that next move? Is he going to make the move up, or is he plateaued now?
He's checked himself. I swear he signed like a 5-year deal when he still had like a couple of years left in his contract, and he was kind of like at a point where
there's a crossroads for sure.
Definite crossroads, and I'm not gonna hate on him for securing the bag or whatever. You do what you got to do, but I feel like that was his chance to really. The same way we talk on Harry Kane signing a 6-year deal, like he didn't need to. That's going above and beyond. He didn't need to be doing that. Zaha now, I feel like, what is he, 28, 29?
Nah, he's not that. Was that 20? I think
he's
might be 28.
Yeah. Because he was like coming through when Fergie just left, which is like 7 years ago. So like he's 18. He's late 20s.
No, he's 27. He's 27. 27, 28.
Well, my thing is now, how long has he got left on his Palace contract? 2, 3. Like, where's he going? And also, how much is he going for?
Yeah, he's 28.
28. Listen, there's no shame in Palace being your level either.
He's turning 29 next month.
There we go. There's no shame in Palace being your level, but I think Palace is a level. If you look around in the league at other players that kind of in his sort of same sort of mould, you got ASM, you got Adama, who I'm not really like hot on, but they're players who would go for more money because they've got what is seen as to be a higher ceiling because they're younger. They got more to improve.
I think we've got.
I don't think. Where is he going to go in the top 6 then?
It's a good question.
Because it sounds mad. It's mad as it sounds.
But I can see as it sounds.
I'd take ASM before I take Zaha.
Yeah, I think ASM's a bit rough around the edges.
Coach, he's like, oh yeah, shout out. Someone put up the funniest tweet about Mane yesterday. They're saying that he plays like a player that we just signed from Rennes. There's like 21 and just like proper raw talent from Liga. And like ASM got that same kind of quality as well. I feel like he's a very coachable player. Zaha, I wouldn't really want to. It's a difficult one because he is mad techie. He might be one of the best players outside the top 6, but there's something about him which I just wouldn't really want in my team. I don't know what it is.
I think he could definitely go up a level for me.
He's just always rattled as well. Like what? Like I just there's no need to be like that.
Yeah, for sure. But look, I think in terms of his performances and in terms of his output, could he make the step up? Has he got the ability? I think definitely.
Ability, 100%. But I feel like it would be a massive risk to go and pay.
I think he can play
50, 60 because that's what Palace are going to be asking. It's going to be 50 because did they not turn down? How much did Arsenal bid like a couple of years when Emery was there? No, it's more than that. It was like Pepe money because before they
wanted Pepe money.
Pepe was Pepe was the backup to.
So 80 mil.
I think because he was like Emery's first target. So I feel like that should be sold.
100%. He would have definitely would have done a better job than Pepe.
Bro, have you seen how?
I think the Arsenal fans are still taking over Pepe now.
Let's not even do our Arsenal chat today. But
no, I can't. Yeah, I'm actually so sick of talking about Arsenal. I feel like it's the same conversation every time.
The fan base of now, they've realised that this is their level. I know they were only bantering on the weekend, but they're singing "We Are Staying Up." If that's me, I'm fuming. I am absolutely rattled by my own fan base.
Home, fam.
Do you see Pepe's post as well? Speaking of Pepe, don't know if there was some sort of loss in translation there. Where he's
no, he was just hearing it so much he got confused. Yeah. No, but in all realness, Arsenal finally got their first goal. They firstly got
the way
off
they
the
celebrated
mark.
as well.
Embarrassing. But do you know what? They're banter FC for a reason. Let them do banter. Let them just banter. It's fun. They're my entertainment week in, week out.
Quickly before, just one quick one. Do you give me one screamer, one howler of the week before we go? We wrap things up. You're probably gonna say
one howler. I'll try and go howler first, and I'm gonna go for. Who was the referee in the Liverpool-Leeds game?
I can't even.
Was that white dude with the blonde hair?
That's narrowing it down to like most of the referees. But I
can't remember. That guy, but he ruined that game for me, man. That was such a saucy game. Obviously, nothing against Harvey Elliott again, but I think that was never a red card for me.
I hear what you're saying. I completely hear what you're saying. But
I don't think anyone was even calling for a ref. They were just asking someone to come onto the pitch and sort him out.
The referee was
Craig Pawson.
Yeah, Craig Pawson.
Joker. I think I don't agree with that.
He played the occasion, innit? He saw how bad the injury was. It's in isolation. It's not a red
VAR,
card.
Bro.
There was even an identical tackle on Mane like right afterwards in the far corner. Pretty much the same. If anything, that tackle Mane was worse. You can understand.
Not even a yellow. In my eyes.
Even,
it's not even
Elliot said it himself. Great tackle was never a red. Unfortunate thing.
It's unfortunate, exactly.
I don't want to seem insensitive. You can see why the ref gave it. I don't think it's a red, but he played the occasion. It happens. Like, look at the flipping Andre Gomez one as well. That got rescinded. Got overturned.
That was a worse challenge. That was like a lunge from behind.
But it's football, isn't it? These things happen. Unfortunate tackle. We hope Elliot comes back soon. Did you give your screamer?
I said my howler was. I think that was a poor decision. Do you know what? Wait. Who got the red in the Aston Villa game?
Did someone get sent off? I swear no one got sent off.
No one got sent off?
No.
I guess I'll have to give it to Craig Pawson. I can't think of anyone else.
Arsenal
Football Club, bruv.
That's permanent.
We are staying up.
Guys, expectation in the toilet. Alright, so
go on, give your howler before I give
my howler. My howler. You know what? Underrated one, but certain couple people in the group chat rate him very highly. I'm not really sure about him, but Tyrone Mings was all at sea.
Yeah, that's
all at sea. The goal gave away that goal for Kovacic, but I think in general, I see him have little lapses of concentration like that quite a lot. He's not my guy. I'm not really a Tyrone Mings guy, but
cool.
That's my.
Yeah, I'm gonna give my screamer to. Jesse Lingard. I'm giving it to Jay Lings. Coming back. Do you know what? I love him because I feel like he's just a Man United fan at the end of the day. Like after he scored his goal, he saluted the Stretford end and that roar just made because like that he's gone through so much like shit, and I feel like I've said this so many times, and it's like doesn't always justify the performances and stuff, but like obviously he's gone through a lot of shit, and for him to score his first goal back at Old Trafford with fans and get that salute with the team around him, with Pogba, with players that he's played with all of his life as well, like it was a special moment at Old Trafford this weekend. So easy answer is Ronaldo, but I think a bit more of a touching sort of meaningful howler or screamer for me. I'm giving to Jesse.
On the sentimental thing this week.
Yeah.
My the Make-A-Wish screamer. I'm actually
Make-A-Wish though, bro. It's literally him from a youth, bro.
I'm actually gonna leave the Premier League for a second. Man's got to salute one of the OGs, man. Jose Mourinho rolled it back. Man said I'm not 58 today. Man said I'm 16 years old. Ran
the table,
boosted, man. That was beautiful. I'm glad. He's a bit of a toxic character at times, especially when he's at your club. I've never had that pleasure before. But I just liked it. The man always stays relevant. He always stays. He's like the Vince McMahon of football. Like,
he's gonna win the league. He's gonna win the league.
I don't know what. He's either way.
He's gonna do 1 point out of 9 or like 2 points out of 9.
1 point. Yeah, they haven't won a game yet. I think they've just got the one draw. Bruv, that Ronaldo pool, like when he went, the whole thing just fell apart. But yeah, Jose's my screamer this week. 1,000th game in as a manager. Not many managers get to that milestone. The guy's won it all. You might not love him, but you definitely respect him. So yeah, Jose.
When he's not on my club, when he's not in the league, I can enjoy him a lot more. So big up Jose. I hope Roma win the league this season.
Yeah, man. Tammy as well. Exactly. Representing.
But look, that was a lovely pod, Ishmael.
Good to be back, man.
Yeah, man. I feel like I didn't have to cut you off this time either, so that's good.
Hey, Champions League this week.
Yeah, we got some exciting.
Wait, bro, I beg you. I swear, I'm saying this now. You have to get out of your group because we cannot be doing the same fucking calendar we were doing last year.
You got to be dealing with your group.
We were doing Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. Like it's too long, man.
No.
Too long.
We'll pattern up. We'll pattern up this season. All I'm saying is Liverpool, make sure you do the same as well. Who you got in yours?
You got AC at Anfield on Wednesday. That is, if that's not football heritage,
that's Istanbul all over again. But guys, make sure you join us for that exciting round of football. Exciting football just in general right now. Let us know what you're feeling in the comments. Get your answers into the questions as well. I want to see what you guys think.
Also, any questions you got to think of during the week, slide into our DMs. DMs are always open. We'll answer.
Been getting some real fun engagement on Instagram.
Yeah, man. Well, you lot are really representing. So don't forget YouTube as well. Like, subscribe, share, all that shit.
All that good shit. We'll be back for another show soon. Peace.
Boom. That's nice. 43:30.
Boom.